Vastrakala by VS Creations brings a tutorial on easy home sewing tips and tricks using some basic embroidery stitches that we have seen so far in our embroidery series. So let's learn about simple ways to quickly sew or mend some clothes without the use of a sewing machine at home or even on the go using two basic embroidery stitches. That is the blanket stitch and the back stitch. If you haven't watched the embroidery guide series, you can find their links from the description box. For example, if you want to join two fabric pieces with hand sewing, firstly pin them up to keep them secure. Then take the regular sewing thread and a regular needle. We don't require the longer embroidery needles for this. I have just threaded the needle with required length and knotted so that I have a double strand for working. The first stitch we are going to see is the back stitch. It not only resembles a machine-made stitch but also is equivalent to it in strength. For demonstration, I am using a contrast color here, but while working on actuals, we can use a matching thread. You can use backstitch to fix any stitch or seam that's ripped off due to use in a garment, or even use this to stitch small pieces of clothes together. As you can see here, this stitch will be quite strong enough. The next stitch is the blanket stitch that we saw in our previous tutorial. This can be used in place of overlocking stitches to help prevent the fraying of raw edges. The blanket stitch is also a strong stitch or seam. Here, to mend this small length of seam that is ripped off in this dress, I am using both the back stitch and the blanket stitch. That is, the back stitch in place of the seam and then the blanket stitch in place of the overlocking stitches that have ripped apart. See how securely and neatly the ripped seam can be fixed the way it was without the need to take out your sewing machine or go in search of a tailor. Now we can fix the ripped open overlock stitch at the edges with a blanket stitch to prevent fraying. Subscribe and click on the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Also, don't forget to give a thumbs up and share this with your design enthusiastic friends. Hope you all found this video helpful. See you all soon with a tutorial on the application of buttonhole stitch in dressmaking or fashion designing.